Mori stood in the rain without moving. This is really the worst day of my life. The man in front of him kept his gun aimed steadily. I finally found you, he said, a vampire hunter. For a moment, the rain seemed to slow as the tension sharpened. In Mori's mind, the memories flashed back, 10 years ago. A brutal encounter, a man like this standing in front of him, gunfire, blood, and Mori barely escaping with his life, injured and barely conscious, until he eventually crossed paths with Rahito, who unknowingly helped him recover. The memory faded back into the present. The man continued, voice cold. After you slipped away that day, I became a teacher. I kept searching for you wherever I was posted. I changed schools every 3 years, and this is where you've been all this time. He tightened his grip. You can't run this time, Mori. Mori stared at him calmly. He's a vampire hunter. Descendants of vampire victims become hunters to settle the score. Then he asked quietly, So, who are you related to? The man didn't hesitate. Don't play dumb. The name Sakamoto says it all. Just then, footsteps and voices of passing school kids echoed nearby. Good morning, Mr. Sakamoto. The man's expression changed instantly. In one smooth motion, he hid the gun. The children walked up cheerfully. Good morning, sir. What are you doing without an umbrella? You'll catch a cold. He forced a smile. Good morning. I just ran into an old friend. He turned slightly, but Mori was gone. The kids looked around. There's no one here, sir. He blinked. You haven't woken up yet? Come on, let's share my umbrella. The children smiled and walked with him. As they left, his eyes sharpened subtly. He disappeared instantly. So he's still nearby. A slow realization formed. What if he's hiding near the school kids this time? One of the children called out, Mr. Sakamoto, you'll be late. Right, let's go. At school, Sakamoto entered his classroom as the day's lecture began. Coincidentally, Rahito was seated in that very class. On the board, he wrote, Sakamoto Ryoma in the Sacho Alliance, 1866. A student raised their hand. Sir, I have a question. Yes? Who actually killed Ryoma? The question landed heavily in the room. Rahito immediately leaned forward slightly, listening closely. Other students began guessing names from the Alliance. The atmosphere shifted. Sakamoto's grip tightened around the chalk. Crack. The chalk snapped in his hand. Silence fell across the class. His mind drifted. My ancestor, Ryoma's killer, a vampire named Mori, the internal foe of the Sakamoto family. A student called out again. Sir? Sakamoto blinked and returned to the present. I know, but I can't tell you. The class murmured. How do you know all this, sir? He paused. Because I met them. Then, after a beat, just kidding. The students stared at him. You met them? How old are you, sir? I'm 31. The class burst into laughter. Don't act like we're dumb, sir. You're talking like you and Ryoma were relatives. After class, the hallway returned to normal life. Rahito was talking with Aoi. Mori even eats his burger patties raw because he's a vampire. Aoi froze. No way. I'm serious. Just then, Franken walked into the classroom. Hey, Rahito, what's up, little dude? Hi, Franken. He looked between Rahito and Aoi, then grinned. Nice job, Aoi. You're already keeping other nasty girls away from Rahito. Aoi immediately frowned. You need to stop showing up every break time. Franken shook his head. I can't. Not even for my sister.
Brother Mori? The teacher, passing by at that exact moment, stopped. Did you just say Mori? Franken turned. Who are you? Got a problem with Rahito? Aoi quickly stepped in. Stop it. He's our teacher. Franken blinked. Oh. The teacher sighed, stepping forward. I'm the homeroom teacher. My name is Sakamoto. I joined the school this year. Franken tilted his head. Never heard of you. Rahito quickly stepped in. He's our teacher. He's really nice. Please stop. Franken folded his arms. All right, I'll let you go this time, for Rahito's sake. Thank you, the teacher said, backing away slightly. As he left, Franken muttered under his breath. Weird guy. Why was he looking at Rahito like that? Is he a pervert? Aoi snapped. Stop talking nonsense. But outside the classroom door, Sakamoto had paused again. He had been listening. Rihito's family runs a bathhouse. Mori could be hiding there, but there's still no solid connection. His eyes narrowed. Still, Aoi and Frankenstein. He thought back to Frankenstein's reputation. Top thug of the school. 200 delinquents beaten down. Beyond child control. His expression darkened. Is he also a vampire? He tightened his coat. As long as I'm in this town, I won't let him touch any kid. And with that, he started walking toward the teacher's room. The school announcement echoed through the hallway. Rihito and Aoi from class 3, please report to the meeting room. Both of them exchanged a glance, then quietly stood up and made their way there. When they arrived, Sakamoto was already waiting inside the room. Rihito stepped in first. Hi, sir. Sakamoto gave a small nod, keeping his posture calm. Sorry to call you both so suddenly. Aoi tilted her head slightly. Did my brother do something, sir? Sakamoto immediately shook his head.
But as he spoke, his hand slipped. The teacup in front of him wobbled, then suddenly broke. Hot tea spilled onto Rihito's foot. Ah, I'm so sorry. Sakamoto rushed forward. Let me check. Are you burned, Rihito? Before Rihito could even react, Sakamoto was already down on one knee, inspecting his leg closely, checking his skin, his pulse, even his body temperature with intense focus. This is perfect. I can confirm it here. Vampire traits, abnormal physiology. Rihito looked down, confused. Sir, Sakamoto nodded once, almost to himself. Thank heavens, no burn. Then he quietly concluded in his mind, Rihito is not a vampire. Aoi crossed her arms. Sir, why did you call us here? Sakamoto froze for a second. Oh, right. He tried to stand up quickly, but placed his hand directly on a broken piece of the cup. Ah! He pulled his hand back. Silly me, I've cut my hand. Blood dripped slightly. Aoi leaned forward. Sir, are you all right? Sakamoto carefully watched her reaction. No shock, no fear. Normal reaction to blood. She's human. Aoi repeated more firmly. Sir, why did you call us here? Sakamoto cleared his throat and straightened up. Yes, actually. Then he paused again. I'm a big bathhouse fan. I was thinking of visiting the koi bathhouse. Rihito blinked. That's it? You're very welcome, sir, he replied politely. Sakamoto nodded. I hear it's been run by your family for generations. That's impressive. Rihito added casually. We also have a helper now. His name is Mori. The moment the name left his mouth, Sakamoto's expression subtly changed. Mori. A sharp focus returned. Mori? You mean Mori Ranmaru? Rihito looked surprised. You know him, sir? Sakamoto shook his head quickly.
Rihito nodded without suspicion. Yes, his full name is Mori Ranmaru. Sakamoto's thoughts tightened. So he's really there, hiding in the bathhouse all this time. Then he looked back at Rihito. I heard you were talking about a vampire earlier. What exactly is that about? Rihito answered casually, without hesitation. Yes, sir. Mori is a vampire. A brief silence. Aoi's eyes widened instantly. Wait, Rihito. She stepped in quickly, cutting him off before he could say more. Sakamoto turned toward her sharply. Do you know about this, Aoi? She froze for a second, thinking fast. Well... Then she smiled awkwardly. It's like he just plays a vampire character. A vampire character? Sakamoto repeated slowly. Rihito nodded, continuing naturally. Yeah, Mori says a lot of interesting stuff. He talks about history and stuff too. Sengoku era, Bakumatsu years. Sakamoto's eyes narrowed slightly as he listened. The rain of suspicion began falling again in his mind. And somewhere far beyond the room, the name Mori settled deeper into the center of everything. You were also interested in teaching us about that time too. Sakamoto nodded lightly. Yes, I was. I get carried away when I talk about that era. But inside, his thoughts were already locking in. It's confirmed. My target, Mori, is at the koi bathhouse. Rihito tilted his head slightly. Sir? Sakamoto immediately straightened. Don't worry about anything. You can rest assured as long as I'm here, Rihito. Rihito just stared at him, confused by the sudden intensity. Well, I have an idea.
Sakamoto added after a pause. Outside, Mori walked slowly through the rain. His clothes were slightly damp, and a cold chill ran through him. I can't stop sneezing. He wiped his nose once. His thoughts drifted as he walked. Everything's getting messy. My sleep is ruined. Franken, my so-called selected bodyguard, is now that little girl's brother. And on top of that, he's trying to push Rihito and Aoi together. He exhaled slowly. And now, Sakamoto Umetaro, the vampire hunter. His eyes narrowed slightly. I can't believe he's teaching at Rihito's school. A faint memory surfaced. I should have finished him 10 years ago. He stopped walking for a moment. If he keeps interfering, I might have to fight him. Then his gaze sharpened. I should warn Rihito too. He needs to stay away from Sakamoto. A distant sound of laughter reached him. He paused. Rihito? Without thinking, he changed direction and walked toward the house. Inside the dining room, laughter and voices echoed. Mori opened the door. Hi, Rihito, and froze. Inside the room, Rihito was sitting calmly. Across from him, Sakamoto. Rihito turned toward him. Oh, Mori, let me introduce you. This is my teacher, Mr. Sakamoto. He's here on a house call today. Mori stood still in the doorway. For a moment, no one moved. Rihito continued casually. This is Mori. I mentioned him before. Mori slowly lifted a hand. I should warm up the boiler. I need to go. He tried to step back immediately, but Rihito's father called out from the side. Hey, Mori, come here and help me. I can't handle a teacher I don't know how to deal with. Stay here with us. Before Mori could finish, Sakamoto spoke. Please have a seat. I need to talk about something very important. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Reluctantly, Mori sat down. At the same time, both men subtly kept alert, hands tense, posture ready, like to— Sakamoto spoke first. Please don't be alarmed. He stood up suddenly. The truth is, this man, Mori, is a vampire. And just like that, he pointed his gun directly at Mori. Silence. Then, laughter erupted across the room. Rihito's father leaned back, laughing loudly. We've known that for years already. He waved a hand. How long do you think we've been living with Mori? He pointed casually toward Mori. Sometimes he's Mori, sometimes he's Amakusa Shibo, Ryoma's killer, Dazai's drowning partner. He's been involved in all sorts of stuff. It's basically just normal conversation at this point. Sakamoto's eyes widened. What? He snapped back. Yes, he killed my ancestor, Sakamoto Ryoma. Rihito's father scoffed. Don't talk nonsense. Ryoma didn't even have kids. I'm telling you the truth. But the father stood up, completely unbothered. You even brought a gun into my house? He reached forward and casually snatched it. I had one like this when I was younger. He examined it. This one's pretty puny. Hey, give that back. Sakamoto panicked. You idiot, you're going to kill someone. Those bullets are coated with anti-vampire tonic. Get behind me or he'll drink your blood. Rihito's father stepped confidently beside Mori instead. No, he won't. He only drinks bad people's blood. That's just how it is. It's not how it is. That's not a thing. Sakamoto's voice rose. It's not a legend. It's real. I'm telling you, he's a vampire. But no one listened. Mori sat there silently, watching everything unfold. They still don't believe him. A faint, almost amused thought crossed his mind. This family never changes. 10 years ago, they didn't believe me either when I told them the truth, and somehow I ended up part of their family anyway. He let out a quiet breath. Now,
Sakamoto and Rihito's father were now fully arguing. I know history. You're just trying to trick us. How can you trust a vampire over Ryoma's family? This is driving me insane. Sakamoto held up the gun again. This is a real weapon. At that moment, Mori slowly stood up. I don't want this turning into a shootout. All eyes turned to him. He exhaled calmly. Actually, the truth is, Sakamoto and I go way back. Sakamoto froze. Mori continued smoothly. It's been 10 years now, hasn't it? He looked at him casually. You haven't changed, buddy. Still don't know when to take a joke too far. He turned slightly toward the room. We've got a lot to catch up on. Let's go talk somewhere else, right, Sakamoto? A pause. Sakamoto lowered his gun slightly. Yes, that's right. I apologize for the sudden commotion. Rihito blinked. Are you leaving already, sir?
Sakamoto nodded. Yes, let's call it a day. Don't worry, I'll protect you. And just like that, the two of them left the room together. Sakamoto kept his eyes locked on Mori as they stood away from the house, the rain still falling around them. What are you hoping to achieve by courting this family for 10 years? He asked sharply. Mori didn't answer directly. Instead, he tilted his head slightly. How about you? Have you slayed many vampires these past 10 years? Sakamoto's expression tightened. Answer my question, Mori. The air between them snapped instantly. Mori stepped closer without warning, closing the distance in a single smooth movement. His hand came up, long sharp nails resting lightly against Sakamoto's neck. His voice dropped. Huh. You'll protect Rihito? A pause. How exactly do you plan to do that? Sakamoto didn't flinch. You are all I've thought about for 10 years. His eyes sharpened. Last time, it was a bullet, and you survived. You escaped. I went 10 years just to take my revenge. His hand moved slightly toward his ring. But now, before anything could escalate further, a voice came from behind them. Sir? Both of them stopped instantly. Rihito stood at the edge of the path, holding a bag. You forgot your bag. The tension vanished in a single breath. Sakamoto blinked, stepping back immediately. Sorry, I'm such a klutz. He gave a small, polite nod. Well, see you at school. And just like that, he turned and walked away. Rihito watched him go, then turned toward Mori. Hey, Mori, what does he want to protect me from? Mori looked at him for a moment, then gently placed a hand on his shoulder. You don't need to worry about anything. Then without hesitation, he pulled Rihito into a brief hug. I'll protect you. Rihito froze slightly. From what exactly? From you and him both? Mori didn't answer directly. From everything bad. That night, after everyone had gone to sleep, Mori slipped out into the quiet darkness. He walked back toward the bathhouse. Perfect timing. I can clean the place in peace. He opened the door and turned on the light. But a shadow stood inside. Sakamoto. Mori paused. So you're already back. Sakamoto stood calmly in the middle of the bathhouse. What a clean bathhouse. Mori narrowed his eyes. Get to the point. Sakamoto slowly lifted his hand again. The ring glinted faintly. Die, Mori. Mori's eyes sharpened, and in an instant he moved forward, stopping the strike before it landed. Don't be insane. This bathhouse has been open for 60 years. Let's not destroy it. Sakamoto's gaze hardened. You've changed, Mori. A pause. 10 years ago, you slaughtered and devoured as you pleased. Mori didn't hesitate. No, I haven't changed. A faint smile formed. It's just an opportunity. He stepped closer.
His eyes narrowed slightly. I'll take over this bathhouse in 3 years. Sakamoto's expression snapped. So that's your real motive. He lunged forward. I won't let you drink a single drop of my student's blood. The ring flashed again as he struck, but Mori twisted aside smoothly, the fight erupting instantly, metal, movement, and crashing water echoing through the bathhouse. Your student, Mori said coldly. You've got it wrong. He wiped a trace of blood from his lip. The only blood I desire is Rihito's. Sakamoto's eyes whitened. Don't you dare say that. They collided again. Fists, kicks, broken tiles, and shattered wooden panels filled the space as they pushed each other harder, both reading every movement, waiting for the slightest opening. But Mori was adapting faster. A sharp strike landed. Sakamoto staggered. Mori licked the blood from his nail. Fine blood. A faint smile. It's giving me a boost. Sakamoto gritted his teeth. You bastard. The fight intensified. Every attack became more precise, more desperate, each of them trying to break the other before they could think. But slowly, Mori gained the upper hand. Sakamoto fell back, breathing heavily. My condolences, Sakamoto. Mori stepped forward. It's a pity your family line ends here. He raised his hand for the final strike. But suddenly, Sakamoto moved. He grabbed Mori tightly. Got you. I've been waiting for this moment, Mori. Mori's eyes widened slightly. Touch. A trap? Is he planning to self-destruct? Take me with him? But Sakamoto's expression wasn't rage. It was something else entirely. Mori. His voice lowered.
I'm not just fighting for revenge. A pause. I'm fighting for myself too. Then, in a voice that cut through everything, Mori, please, drink my blood. Silence. Even the bathhouse seemed to stop moving. Mori froze. What? To be continued. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe for